So we have discussed about the theory behind effective memory access time for a system. Now, if we concentrate on this diagram, you see there is a very interesting thing that whenever a CPU is generating some address, at that time, there are actually two address that two type of address possible in a computer system. One is called a virtual address that is generated by a CPU, and one is a physical address that is actual address of the memory locations. Now conversion of this virtual address to physical address is not the part of discussion for today, so I am not going in detail of that, and that is part of memory management unit. So if we consider the communication part, you see we have a very interesting thing that I have a communication between CPU and cache memory in one side, in another side we have a cache memory to RAM. Now this CPU to cache memory is actually a part of it's not a part of discussion for today. We will discuss about the communication between cache memory and RAM. So that is that means what to before starting the discussion, one thing we have to make sure that we are discussing with the address that is exact address of the memory location, what we call physical address. So now if we keep this RAM and cache side by side, let's draw a cache memory, RAM and cache memory first. So suppose that we have a, let's draw the RAM first. Suppose this is a RAM. Now this RAM, okay, and in this side we have a cache memory. This RAM is logically divided into some part what we call block. So if we consider that we have a block 0, then it's block 1, it's block 2, and in this way, suppose in my system I have total 16 blocks. So this is block number 0, this is block number 1, this is block number 2. In this way I have total 16 blocks. Why I am saying this? You see, to support this claim, let us take that the address bus that we have discussed in this particular architecture, this one, this is my address bus, right? And suppose this address bus in my system is of 6 bit. 6 address bus is present. So if we have a 6 address bus, that means my address line is of 6 bit. That means if we consider an address of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 bit, that means what I can say, using this 6 bit, how many memory location I can map? Obviously will be 2 to the power 6 memory locations. That means I can say that, in other words, I can say that 2 to the power 6 means 64. That means I can map 64 byte memory location in my system if I have address bus is of 6 bit. So And what I have considered, that I have considered that I will divide the whole RAM into 16 blocks. So naturally question come that then this block, always remember one thing, that every block is of equal sizes. Since every block is of equal size, that means size of each block, that means size of each block will be equal to 64 by 4 byte. That means 16 byte. I'm sorry. 64 by 16 byte. Why 4? Just opposite one. Because I have 16 blocks, that means total size of the memory by number of blocks, that is 4. Not this. Actually, I should say, yes, 4 bytes. That means each and every block can be considered of 4 memory locations, containing 4 locations. This is for block 0, this is for block 1. I mean, maybe this is not much clear because of this because of the color, so let's make it with some contrast. For example, this one. And so on. So basically this is your memory address 0, this is memory address 1, this is memory address 2. In this way, total I will have 64 byte in my RAM. And so now, and this is part of RAM, what we have discussed. In a similar way, always remember that when we divide the cache memory, we divide the cache memory with equal size of this block. That means the size of the block and size of the cache, size of the block of the RAM and size of the block of the cache memory is actually same. But remember, in case of cache memory, we say it's line. I mean, what we say a block with respect to RAM, that is what we say line with respect to cache. Just like this is block 0, this is block 1, this is block 2, and this is in this way block 15. Similarly, this is line 0, this is line 1, this is line 2, and this is line 3. Okay, so suppose that I have a cache and I have divided the cache into this same size of, I mean the size of the one block in RAM and size of one line in cache is same. It has to be same. Okay. Now, if we consider the physical address that we have just seen, this is my physical address. This physical address, if I write the physical address over here, the physical address looks something like this. It actually, of 6 bit is divided mainly in two parts. This side is called block offset and another side is called block number. This block number represents in which block the data is present, and the block offset represents what is the exact location in that particular block. For example, if we consider, say, this particular location where the data is stored, so in that case the memory address that has to be generated from the processor, at least in the block offset side, I can say it should be 10, because this is zeroth address of the block 0, this is first address of block 0, this is second address, this is third address. In a similar way, this is also 0th address of block 1, first address of block 1, let's write it here. First address of block 1, second address and third address. In this way, so on continue. So that means if a data is present in this particular block, this 2 that is I have written in decimal, actually it will be 10. And the block, this is block number 1. So naturally here the address will be 0001. You see, this 000110, this is the whole physical address that will be generated by the CPU. I have logically divided the RAM block in such a way that I can divide the whole physical address into two parts. Rightmost part is called block offset and leftmost is called block number, where block number represent what is the block where the data is present, and block offset represent what is the exact location in that particular block. Now see, if we say that let's do one thing. Let's realize the block number with all these variations. So if we have a block number, if we consider that block number are like this four for this 4 different data, what are the variations possible? It can be all 0, or something like this. Let's write it. I'm sorry. Okay, so these are the 16 variations possible in this block number. So this is representing block 0, this is block 1, block 2. In this way, total block number 15. Now see, now question is that we are still talking about the RAM and data present in RAM, but when we will convert, we will concentrate on the part of cache memory. Always remember that a cache memory, since I have divided the cache memory with equal amount of sizes as block, what we call line over here, when a data is stored in a cache memory, the whole block is transferred in one of the line of the cache memory. Now question come that how a machine will realize that in which particular block is present in which particular line. Now if we consider that, say, this block number 0 will be in, say, line number 0, then block number 1, if we take a round robin manner, if we take these block numbers in a round robin manner in these cache lines, I can say that block 0 will be in line 0, block 1 will be in line 1, block 2 will be in line 2, block 3 will be in line 3, then block 4, the block 4 will be again in line 0. Then block 5 will be in line 1. Block 6 will be in line 2. Block 7 will be in line 3. Then again block 8 will be in line 0, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So actually what I have written, I have said that this line number 0 should contain either data from block 0 or block 4 or block 8 or block 12. In the line number 1 of the cache memory, the data may come from either block number 1 or block number 5 or block number 9 or block number 13. So that means I am restricting in my system that in which particular block will go in which particular line. And any block cannot go in any line. What I am saying? That I am saying that I have a 2 to the power n number of main memory blocks. Here 16 main memory block, that means 2 to the power 4. So if I have 2 to the power n number of main memory block, it can be mapped to a particular line of a cache memory. Block 0 can be mapped only in line 0. Block, say, 9 will be mapped only in block line 1. You cannot put the block data of block number 9 in other lines of the cache. And how we can do this? You see, if we want to make clear with respect to this block number, so that means somehow I have to do this mapping, that I have some amount of blocks in RAM and in other side some cache line in cache. So that means I have something like I can say that I have a, let's draw in a different color. Suppose that a scenario that is in this side, we are having this set is representing all the block numbers and this set is representing all the cache lines, and the values are what? Values are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in this way, and it is here 0, 1, 2 and 3, right? And what I can say that this 0 can be mapped to 0, 0, then 4, then 8 I have not written, 8 and 12 I have not written over here, that's why you cannot map. Similarly 1, 5, 9, 13, that means this 1 can be mapped to this 1, then 5 and 9 and 13. If I have a 9, then 9 can be mapped over here. If I have an 8, 8 can be mapped over here. So you see, I have If you consider a particular line, this particular line contain either from block 0 or from block 4 or from block 8 or 12. So this mapping, how we can do? Obviously block offset cannot work over here because block offset representing the exact location of the block number present in the RAM. So just for timing, you can omit this block offset part. Somehow we have to do some trick on this block number part. And what we can do, we can see that if we only compare this 0, 4, 8 and 12 part, you see if we compare, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15, right? So if we compare 0, 4, 8 and 12, that means this one, this one, this one and this one. We have a common in these cases, that is I have in both all these 4 cases I have a 0 in the right hand, 2 0 in the right hand side. Similarly, if we consider another situation, another line, for example, say line number 1, that is 1, 5, 9 and 13. If we consider, this is 1, this is 5, this is 9 and this is 13. And if we want to watch the similarity between these addresses, I will find that I have 0, 1 at the end for both, I mean all these 1, 5, 9 and 13. Right. So that means this rightmost 2 byte is representing the line number of this from this block number. So that means I can divide the block number into 2 more parts. That means the address that I had, that is, if we consider the physical address is like this is my physical address. I have seen that this is representing block offset and this is representing block number. Now this block number, now I can divide into 2 parts again, where the rightmost part is representing the line number present of the cache. So that means this is what we call line number. That is actually representing what is the cache line number where the data should be present. I mean, and this is actually what we call tag. That means when a physical address is generated by a processor and it is checked in the cache, then what happens? The system will not search the entire cache location. Depends on this line number, it exactly go to that line first, and in that line, if we consider line 0, you see line 0 have various combinations. It can be 0 0, it can be 0 1, it can be 1 0, it can be 1 1. And this 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1 is true for every different lines. For example, in case of 0 1 line number, I have an option 0 0, 0 1, 1 0 and 1 1. So that mean each and every cache line is associated with another memory, what we call tag memory. So if we consider that this is my cache memory, and there are certain lines in the cache, for example 4 lines, and there is a separate memory location present over here for each and every cache line, and that is what we call, so this is my cache memory, okay, but this extra memory that we have is called my tag memory. So when a data is stored in this cache line, the tag memory contains that particular tag, this leftmost part, that is either 00 or 01 or 10 or 11. And that means when a data is checked whether it is present in the cache or not, it first checks the line number, and in that particular line we have to go, and in that line, for example, if we consider an address say 101101, this is the 6-bit physical address generated by CPU. What we have seen, that I have 3 parts. This is my line number. That means I don't need to check this line 0, line 1 and line 2. I will directly go to this line number 3 because it is 11, and then I will check what is the tag memory. Now this tag memory may not contain 10, may contain 00. Then what I mean? It means that whatever data that I am trying to find out is not present in the cache because there is a mismatch in tag. So there will be a cache miss, and then it will go for RAM, and from the RAM data will go to that particular cache. That means this 10 this 00 will be actually you can say will be overwritten by this 10, and a new value will come in the cache line. In the cache line means cache line also contain 4 locations as we have seen over here, because the block size and cache line size is same. And what happened, that entire block will be transferred to the line 0, not a particular memory location. So in this way actually the communication is mapped, and this is what actually we have discussed is we call direct mapping. The technique that we have discussed is actually called direct mapping. This is direct mapping. And what direct mapping is saying? Direct mapping is saying that two to the power n number of blocks of main memory is mapped to a particular cache memory, particular line of cache memory. Just like we have seen that block 0, block 4, block 8 and block 12 is mapped with only line 0. Similarly, block 1, 5, 9 and 13 can be mapped only to line 1, and so on. So this is all about the theory behind a direct mapping.